How you doing? We are the Morioh citizens, and this is Persona 4 the animation. Spoiler for your review.
Now, first off, the animation is based off the Persona 4 game, specifically the original Persona 4. And, you know, if you haven't played that game, like, you're missing out. Like, honestly, we highly recommend it.
Like, we finished the games, I don't know, maybe recently, like two weeks ago or something. But the game is so good. And the animation, it's a pretty good adaptation of the games.
I'd say so. And of course, as always, we're gonna start off with the animation. Now, AK, what'd you think of the effects and the overall art
What
style?
really, like, kind of stood out in terms of effects and animation was the glowing and lighting of it. The animation itself is average, would be kind of at a 6, but the effects and the lighting kind of ups it up.
The animation was kind of average, but like it makes up for it with other qualities. The best way to describe it is like if you ever have like read the JoJo manga, the stands in the manga have this like certain glow to them that they don't have in the anime. Like that's the best way I can like visualize it.
Especially like it's just the lighting is really good. Like the first outro of the anime, you can see the lighting and the glowing effects of the tarot card that Yu is holding.
For the time it was made, around like was it like 2012?
Probably around that, yeah.
Yeah, like for the time it was made, it was actually really well done. Like one thing that I also wanted to mention is that like the animation style is like very like heavily based off like the cutscenes in the original Persona 4, which is like natural for an adaptation. And they are like an improvement over them. Now moving on to the characters. Now these characters are of course like carried over from the game, and
the characters in the game are beautifully written. Like you feel a very strong connection to them, especially doing social links. Of course, the anime couldn't like show all like the social link structure because it's an anime, not like how the gameplay mechanics of the game. But it did show the social link in a very smart way, kind of how they adapt it into the anime.
Yeah, it was almost like seamless how they integrated it. Speaking of like characters and stuff, like I know it's true for AK. I know it's true for myself too. Both of us cried when the game ended solely because of how good the characters are. And like when we watched the animation, it was like PTSD like just struck us because we felt the exact same way over again.
The characters, yeah, you see you have a strong bond with them in the game. The score for the characters in the animation would of course be lower because you spend more time with the characters in the game.
Yeah, that can't be helped. It's just like in all adaptations of a certain work, like be it book, movie, TV show, manga, whatever it is, game, you're gonna have like less time to develop it as the original source.
The main cast has their own unique characteristics in how they are today, and they change like real people change.
And finally, we arrived at the plot. Now, the plot of Persona 4 the animation is the same as Persona 4.
The Persona 4 plot wasn't anything special. It's more of a mystery. How like Persona 4 the anime is also a mystery. Of course, they sprinkle a lot of like, I guess you would say filler stuff, but it's nice because you see more interactions with the cast. So
now, a common like misunderstanding that people have is that like this is an adaptation of Persona 4 Golden, when it really isn't. Like the extra content that was added in Golden was in a separate animation. Although that one didn't do too well, so it never got an English dub.
Yeah, and I'd recommend to watch the English dub of the animation of Persona 4 the animation. It's really good. It's better than the sub, in my opinion.
Honestly, okay, we should add like a category for like voice acting. Like I think that would do well.
They did really well, you know. Like Johnny Young Bosch as Yu Narukami, and I believe Matt Mercer. Yeah, is in there.
Like the entire cast is stacked with like Yuri Lowenthal as like Yosuke, my husbando as well.
Yes,
Fun
Yosuke
fact.
is the best friend character.
Get the romance mod. Do it.
Yeah, it's kind of like a balance between a slice of life. You have the plot, like it goes straight into the plot, the animation.
Yeah.
And you also have this slice of life kind of thing. It's kind of like two genres. It's like a shonen anime, and like it's not really a shonen anime. It's kind of like how shonen animes are depicted, and also how slice of life animes are depicted. And
exactly, and that's like the whole appeal of like the Persona games in general. Like you get like one half, which is like this dungeon crawler with like, you know, all these like powers and like personas and all that, but like at the same time you get this like kind of life simulator, and that like carries over into the animation too. Like
that balance
like
between them is just really good. And
Mm-hmm.
of course, one of the major strengths of this is it gives you Narukami more of a personality, because in the game he's more of a silent protagonist.
Like in this, it's just like the Persona 3 movies where they focused a lot more on the main character than they did in like the games.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So now moving on to the ratings. FD, what would you like to give the animation?
Honestly, the animation, I would originally gave it a 5, but like the effects and all those like other like little like tidbits kind of bumped it up to like a 7.5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, the effects really did well for it.
Mhm.
And for the
What about
characters, of course, if we were talking about the game, the characters would be a 10 out of 10.
They get so much development, but because like time constraints and all that the animation had, we're gonna knock it down to like a 9.
A 9 out of 10. And now for...
And lastly, the plot. What do you think, AK?
It's not the best plot. I mean, it's pretty average, but with its mystery elements and such, it is kind of suspenseful and mysterious at times. And
Yeah.
I would give it a 7 out of 10.
Which averages out to.
Well, let me pull up my calculator.
3 plus 7 plus 9 equals 23 divided by 3. 7.8. 7.8.
Oh, wait, are you sure? Oh, yeah, okay. Which carries out. What do you want?
What do you want?
What do you want?
Yeah, and that means the rating averages out to a solid 7.8.
Or basically an 8.
Yeah.
Well,
So.
that about wraps it up.
We'll see you guys in the next one.
See ya.